I'm actually doing a whole bunch of these right now, but I'm gonna do one to show you the ingredients and then of course multiply the recipe if you're prepping. So I have 7 Nilla wafers that I have crushed up to make the crust of my cherry cheesecake pie, chocolate cherry cheesecake pie. So I just put these in the bottom. Now, if you don't like your Nilla wafers to get a little bit soggy, I kind of like it, but if you don't like that, save this and you will have it as a topping. I am pouring into my glass half a cup, or into my little blender cup, half a cup of milk. I have 3/4 of a cup of a low-fat cottage cheese, and I'm gonna post this recipe later in the video, so don't worry, you don't have to keep track. I will post it in cups and grams. I actually prefer to use grams because then you don't even have to use a measuring cup. You're going to just use your scale. And to my cottage cheese mixture and milk, I'm adding 1 scoop of a Sweat Ethic chocolate brownie recipe. I always use Sweat Ethic proteins because the flavors are amazing, they mix well, and they bake well. Also, they're low lactose, so none of that tummy bloat that you might get from other protein powders. And finally, just a little bit, I'm gonna use about half a teaspoon of a sugar-free instant Jell-O pudding mix. So I will add that as well. See if I've added everything in here. Yes, okay, now I'm just gonna blend it up. If you don't like cottage cheese, I always say don't worry, because when you blend it, you don't get that texture. And so it just makes a really creamy mixture. I've actually started using a lot of cottage cheese in place of yogurts, but of course, if you really are opposed to the cottage cheese, go with a fat-free plain Greek yogurt. So I'm just pouring this mixture over my little crust, and I'm going to put some cherries on top of that. This particular recipe is great because it's so versatile. You could use the Nilla wafers, you could use graham crackers. If you are on a low carb diet, or if you're trying to save some calories in that department, you could just go without a crust completely. The macros that I include with this recipe though are going to be everything that I've included here. And then on top, let me show you my little can, is this light cherry pie filling. So doesn't add a lot of calories, but a whole lot of flavor. And then, like I said, I'm prepping these to have on hand for my dessert. And these don't really spread all that well. I just try to spread them out somewhat. I've also done a frozen fruit mixture that I blend up and put on top. But the flavor is what we're here for, and it is good. So I'm gonna pop this in the freezer and come back and enjoy it in a few minutes. But if you have any questions about macros, intermittent fasting, be sure to hit me up in the comments. And then be sure to grab that Sweat Ethic protein and use discount code MAXOUT to save you some money.